The storm hit Kara 7 just after sunset. Dr. Marcus Webb locked the clinic doors and checked his supplies one last time. The wind howled outside, throwing dust against the metal walls. This was a bad one. Marcus lived alone on the edge of the human colony. His clinic was small, just 4 rooms and a surgery bay. Most days he treated miners with broken bones or colonists with fever. The pay was terrible, but someone had to help the frontier families. He was making coffee when he heard the crash. Marcus grabbed his medical bag and ran outside. The wind nearly knocked him over. Sand stung his face. Through the storm, he saw something large lying near the fence. At first, he thought it was debris from the storm. Then it moved. Marcus ran closer, shielding his eyes. His heart stopped. It was a person. No, not quite human. The figure had scales that gleamed even in the darkness. Horns curved back from her head. Large wings lay crumpled and broken against her back. Blood pooled beneath her body, turning the sand dark. She was an alien, a dragon-like alien, and she was dying. Marcus had seen pictures of different alien species during medical school, but never one like this. Her scales were deep red and gold. Even unconscious and broken, she looked powerful, dangerous. He should call the authorities, let them handle it. Instead, Marcus knelt beside her and checked for a pulse. Her heart was beating, but barely. The wounds were terrible. Plasma burns covered her chest and arms. One wing was shattered, her leg bent at a wrong angle. She had lost too much blood. "Okay," Marcus said to himself. "Okay, you can do this." He couldn't carry her alone. She was too big, too heavy. Marcus ran back to the clinic and brought out the emergency stretcher. It took all his strength to roll her onto it and drag her inside. The surgery bay lights flickered on. Marcus locked the doors and got to work. He had no idea about her species' biology. Human medicine might kill her, but doing nothing would definitely kill her. Marcus made his choice. First, stop the bleeding. He used synthetic skin patches on the worst wounds. His hands shook as he worked. The plasma burns were severe, going deep into the muscle. He cleaned them carefully and applied regeneration gel. The broken wing was beyond his skill. He could only stabilize it and hope. Her leg needed setting. Marcus gave her a painkiller injection, praying it would work on her alien biology. She groaned but didn't wake. Hours passed. Marcus worked without stopping. He set up an IV drip, guessing at the fluid mixture she might need. He wrapped her burns. He splinted her wing and leg. The work was endless. Around midnight, she opened her eyes. They were golden, like fire. They focused on Marcus with sharp intelligence. Then she tried to sit up and gasped in pain. "Don't move," Marcus said gently. "You're badly hurt. Please, just rest." She stared at him. Her hand moved to her side, searching for a weapon that wasn't there. She said something in a language Marcus didn't understand. Her voice was deep and musical, even weak as she was. "I don't understand," Marcus said. He kept his voice calm and soft. "You're in my clinic. I'm a doctor. You're safe here." She watched him for a long moment. Then her eyes closed and she went unconscious again. Marcus let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. He kept working through the night. Every hour he checked her vital signs. Her breathing steadied. The bleeding stopped. Her heart rate improved. The alien woman was strong. Incredibly strong. A human with these injuries would have died hours ago. Dawn came. Marcus had been awake for 20 hours straight. His back ached. His hands were cramped. But his patient was stable. He sat down in the chair beside her bed and just watched her breathe. In the morning light, he could see more details. Her scales weren't just red and gold. They had patterns like flowing fire. Her horns were carved with symbols he couldn't read. Old scars marked her body beneath the new wounds. This was a warrior, a soldier, someone important, probably. What had happened to her? Who had hurt her this badly? And why had she come to this small, forgotten colony world? Marcus didn't have answers. He wasn't sure he wanted them. The clinic computer chimed. He had 3 patients scheduled for today. Marcus looked at the unconscious alien woman, then at the clock. He couldn't let her be seen. People would panic. Or worse, someone would try to capture her for a reward. He canceled his appointments, saying he had a medical emergency. It wasn't a lie. For 3 days, Marcus cared for her alone. She woke several times, always confused and defensive. Each time Marcus spoke softly and showed her he meant no harm. He brought her water. He changed her bandages. He gave her pain medication. On the 4th day, she stayed awake. Marcus was replacing her IV when her golden eyes opened and focused on him. This time, she didn't try to fight. She watched him work with cautious curiosity. "Good morning," Marcus said. He smiled. "You're looking better. How do you feel?" She tilted her head. Then, slowly, she pointed at the IV in her arm. "This? It's medicine, nutrients, and antibiotics to help you heal." Marcus mimed drinking and eating. "Food, water, medicine?" Understanding flickered in her eyes. She nodded slightly. Marcus pointed at himself. "Marcus, my name is Marcus." She studied him for a long moment. Then she touched her own chest. "Zatesh." The name came out like a growl and a song combined. "Zatesh," Marcus repeated carefully. "Nice to meet you, Zatesh. Welcome to my clinic." She kept staring at him. Then she said something in her language. The words were soft but intense. Marcus wished he could understand. "I don't know what you're saying," he said gently. "But you're safe here. I promise. You can stay until you heal." Zatesh closed her eyes. When she opened them again, something had changed. The suspicion was still there, but also something else. Confusion, maybe, or surprise. She had expected death. Instead, she found a human doctor who asked no questions and expected nothing in return. This was not something she understood. Marcus pulled a blanket over her and dimmed the lights. "Rest now. I'll check on you in a few hours." As he left the room, he didn't see Zatesh watching him go. Her expression was thoughtful. In her long life of war and conquest, no stranger had ever shown her kindness like this. She didn't know what to make of the human named Marcus. But she would remember this. If she survived, she would remember. 3 more days passed before Zatesh could sit up on her own. Marcus brought her a translation device he had borrowed from the colony's communications center. It was old and glitchy, but it worked. "Can you understand me now?" Marcus asked. Zatesh's eyes widened. "Yes, your words are strange, but I understand." Her voice through the translator sounded mechanical but clear. "Good. That's good." Marcus smiled. "How are you feeling? Does anything hurt badly?" "Everything hurts," Zatesh said. She looked at her bandaged wing. "But I am alive. You saved my life, human." "Marcus, please just call me Marcus." "Marcus," she said his name carefully, testing it. "Why did you save me? You do not know me. My kind and yours have never met before." Marcus shrugged. "You needed help. I'm a doctor. That's what I do." Zatesh stared at him. "Most species would have let me die, or sold me. There are many who would pay much for a dragon warrior, alive or dead." "Well, I'm not most people." Marcus checked her IV. "Are you hungry? I can make you something to eat. I'm not sure what your species eats, but I have some protein bars and dried meat. You still ask no questions about who I am. Do you want to tell me?" Zatesh was quiet for a moment. "No, not yet." "Then I won't ask." Marcus stood up. "I'll get you some food. Try to rest." As the days passed, Zatesh grew stronger. She could walk short distances with Marcus's help. Her wing was healing, though she would not fly for weeks. The burns on her chest faded to pink scars beneath her scales. She watched Marcus work in the clinic. He saw patients during the day now. Zatesh stayed hidden in the back room, listening to everything. Marcus treated a miner with a crushed hand. He spent 2 hours carefully reconstructing the bones. The miner had no money. Marcus treated him for free. A woman brought her sick daughter. The little girl had a fever and was crying. Marcus stayed with them all afternoon, checking her temperature and giving her medicine. He told the girl funny stories until she laughed. He refused payment. An old colonist came in with a bad cough. Marcus gave him expensive medicine from his personal supply. The old man tried to pay. Marcus said the medicine was expired anyway, which was a lie. Zatesh saw all of this. She did not understand. "Why do you work for nothing?" she asked Marcus one evening. They were eating dinner together. Marcus had made soup that Zatesh could actually digest. "Not for nothing," Marcus said. "I help people. That's payment enough." "But you are poor. This clinic barely functions. You could charge more. Move to the core worlds where there is real money." "These people need me here. On the core worlds, there are plenty of doctors. Out here on the frontier, I'm all they have." Zatesh shook her head. "You are strange, Marcus. In my experience, everyone wants something. Power, wealth, glory." "What do you want?" Marcus asked. The question caught her off guard. She thought for a long time. "I wanted victory, to protect my people, to be strong enough that no one could hurt those I care for." "That doesn't sound so different from what I want. Protecting people, I mean." "I protect through strength and fear. You protect through—" She struggled for the word. "Gentleness. It makes no sense." Marcus smiled. "Maybe there's more than one way to be strong." Zatesh didn't answer, but she thought about his words for a long time. She began helping around the clinic when Marcus wasn't seeing patients. She could not do much with her injuries, but she could organize supplies and clean equipment. It felt strange. She was a warrior, a commander. She had led armies. And here she was, washing medical tools in a tiny human clinic. But it also felt peaceful. For the first time in many years, Zatesh was not fighting, not planning battles, not watching for enemies. She was just existing, healing, resting. Marcus never treated her like a warrior or a threat. He treated her like a patient, like a person. Sometimes he told her stories about Earth, his home world, about rain and oceans and green forests. Zatesh told him small things about her people. Careful not to reveal too much. "We live on ships mostly," she said one night. "We left our home world long ago. Now we travel. We are strong fighters. Most species avoid us." "That sounds lonely," Marcus said quietly. No one had ever said that to Zatesh before. Lonely. Yes, it was lonely. One night, a woman brought her son to the clinic. The boy was very sick. Marcus examined him and his face went pale. "Cardiac failure," he told the mother. "His heart is giving out. I don't have the equipment here to help him. He needs a hospital on the core worlds." "We can't afford that," the woman sobbed. "Please, please help him." Marcus looked at the dying boy. Then he said, "I'll stabilize him, make him comfortable." I'm so sorry, but there's nothing more I can do." Zatesh watched from the doorway as Marcus worked through the night. He gave the boy medicine to ease the pain. He held the child's hand. He told stories in a soft voice. The mother cried quietly. Just before dawn, the boy died. Zatesh saw Marcus's face. She saw the tears he tried to hide. The mother thanked him and left, carrying her son's body. Marcus sat alone in the dark clinic. He didn't move for a long time. Zatesh came and sat beside him. She said nothing. Sometimes there were no words. After a while, Marcus said, "I hate this part. When I can't save them, when all I can do is make the end easier." "You gave him peace," Zatesh said. "You gave him comfort in his last hours. That is not nothing. It's not enough." "No," Zatesh agreed. It is never enough. But you did what you could. That matters. Marcus looked at her. Is that what you tell yourself? When you lose battles? When you can't protect everyone? Yes, Zatesh said honestly. I tell myself I did what I could. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it does not. They sat together in the darkness. A dragon warrior and a human doctor, both carrying the weight of those they could not save. The next morning, Marcus found Zatesh trying to lift supply boxes with her injured arm. What are you doing? He asked. Helping. These need to be organized. You should be resting. I have rested enough. Zatesh looked at him. You do too much alone, Marcus. Let me help. So Marcus let her help. They worked together, reorganizing the clinic, treating patients. Zatesh learned to prepare bandages and sterilize equipment. She could not treat patients herself, but she could assist. The colonists who came to the clinic stared at the dragon woman, but Marcus's calm acceptance made them relax. If Marcus trusted her, she must be safe. 2 weeks after Marcus found her, Zatesh was almost healed. Her wing could flex properly. The burns were fading. Soon she would be strong enough to leave. She should contact her fleet, return to her duties. The war was still happening. Her people needed her. But she found herself reluctant to go. Then one morning, a ship appeared in orbit. Marcus saw it through the clinic window, a large military vessel, dark and threatening against the stars. Zatesh saw it too. Her whole body went tense. That is a Karvax ship, she said quietly. They have found me. Who are the Karvax? Marcus asked. Zatesh turned to him. Her golden eyes were sad. The ones who tried to kill me. And they will destroy this entire colony to finish the job. The Karvax fleet descended through the atmosphere like falling black stars. There were 5 ships. Each one bristled with weapons. Marcus stood in his clinic doorway and watched them land near the colony center. His stomach felt tight. Around him, colonists were running, shouting, confused and afraid. Marcus! Zatesh touched his shoulder. You need to hide me. Now, if they find me here, everyone will die. There's a storage bunker under the clinic, Marcus said quickly. It's small, but... Show me. Marcus led her to the back room. He pulled aside a cabinet to reveal a hatch in the floor. The bunker below was dark and cramped, barely big enough for one person. Zatesh climbed down. She looked up at Marcus. Do not tell them about me. No matter what they do, promise me. Zatesh, promise me, Marcus. I promise. Marcus closed the hatch and pushed the cabinet back. His hands were shaking. He had no idea what was coming, but it terrified him. The Karvax soldiers arrived an hour later. They were tall, insect-like creatures with dark armor. They moved through the colony in formation, weapons ready. The lead soldier, bigger than the others, wore red markings on his armor. Marcus stood outside his clinic with the other colonists. Everyone had been ordered to gather in the main square. The big soldier, a commander perhaps, climbed onto a platform. When he spoke, his voice boomed through a translator. Humans of Kara 7, I am Commander Vex of the Karvax Supremacy. We are searching for a fugitive, a dragon warrior. She came to this system 2 weeks ago. Murmurs ran through the crowd. Marcus kept his face blank. This warrior is extremely dangerous, Vex continued. She is called Zatesh the Unbroken, the Dragon Imperatrix, commander of the Dragon clans. She has destroyed 17 of our battle fleets, killed thousands of our soldiers. Marcus's heart stopped. Imperatrix, commander, 17 fleets. The wounded woman he had been caring for was not just a soldier. She was a legend. If any of you have seen this warrior, speak now, Vex demanded. Your cooperation will be rewarded. No one spoke. Marcus held his breath. Vex's eyes swept over the crowd. Then we will search every building, every home. If we find you have hidden her, everyone in this colony will be executed. The soldiers spread out. Marcus watched them go from house to house. They were getting closer to his clinic. A hand gripped his arm. It was Thomas, the miner whose hand Marcus had repaired. "Doc, did you see anything?" Thomas whispered. "Any strange aliens around your clinic?" "No," Marcus lied. His voice was steady. "Nothing." Thomas nodded and moved away. Other colonists asked similar questions. Marcus denied everything. The soldiers reached his clinic. 4 of them went inside. Marcus forced himself to stay in the square. Running would look suspicious. He waited. Every second felt like an hour. Finally, the soldiers emerged. They had found nothing. The hidden bunker was too well concealed. But Vex was not finished. "Bring me that one," he said, pointing at Marcus. 2 soldiers grabbed Marcus and dragged him to the platform. He didn't resist. Fighting would only make things worse. Vex leaned down, his insect eyes examining Marcus. "You are the doctor, yes? The one who runs the clinic on the edge of the colony?" "Yes," Marcus said. "Your clinic is in perfect position to see approaching ships. You would have noticed if someone crashed nearby." "I see a lot of things: dust storms, meteor showers, equipment failures. This is a frontier world. Things crash all the time." Vex grabbed Marcus by the throat. His grip was crushing. "Do not play games with me, human. The Dragon Imperatrix was tracked to this system. Her ship crashed near your settlement. She is here somewhere." Marcus couldn't breathe. Black spots danced in his vision. "Commander!" Another soldier approached. "We have checked everywhere. There is no sign of the Dragon Warrior. Perhaps she died in the crash. Or fled the planet." Vex threw Marcus to the ground. Marcus gasped, clutching his throat. "Perhaps," Vex said. But he didn't sound convinced. He activated a communication device. A hologram appeared above the platform. It showed Zatesh in full battle armor, wings spread, holding weapons Marcus had never seen. She looked magnificent and terrifying. "This is Zatesh the Unbroken," Vex announced. "For 300 years, she has fought against the Karvak supremacy. She has cost us countless lives and resources. The dragon clans worship her. They believe she cannot be killed." The hologram shifted. Now it showed a battle. Zatesh fighting alone against dozens of soldiers. She moved like lightning. Each strike was lethal. The soldiers fell like grass before a blade. Marcus watched in shock. This was who he had saved. This unstoppable warrior? "But she can be killed," Vex continued. "We proved that. We set a trap. We hurt her badly. She fled here to this worthless colony to hide and heal, and when we find her, we will execute her. The dragon clans will lose their greatest champion. They will fall into chaos, and the Karvak supremacy will conquer them all." Vex turned off the hologram. He looked at the colonists. "I will give you 1 day," he said. 1 day to find the Dragon Imperatrix and bring her to me. If you do not, I will begin executing you. 1 person every hour, until someone tells me where she is. Or until you are all dead." Silence fell over the square. The colonists looked at each other in fear. "You have until sunrise tomorrow," Vex said. "Choose wisely." The soldiers marched back to their ships. The colonists were released. Everyone scattered, hurrying home. Marcus ran back to his clinic. He locked the door and pulled open the bunker hatch. Zatesh climbed out. She could see the truth in his eyes. "You heard," she said. "Imperatrix," Marcus said. "You're the Imperatrix of the Dragon clans. You've destroyed 17 fleets. You're the most powerful warrior in the galaxy." "Yes." "Why didn't you tell me?" Zatesh looked away. "Would you have saved me if you knew? If you knew I am a weapon? A killer?" Marcus opened his mouth, closed it. He didn't know the answer. "I have killed thousands," Zatesh said quietly. "I have burned worlds. I have made entire species fear the night sky. I am the dragon of Ashkara, the Unbroken, the Endless Blade. I am everything they said and worse. Why do you fight them? Marcus asked. The Karvax. Why? Because they are conquerors. They enslave worlds. Kill anyone who resists. My people tried peace with them once. They answered with genocide. So I fight. I have fought for 3 centuries, and I will fight until I die. Marcus sat down. His head was spinning. They will kill everyone here to find you, he said. I know. What do we do? Satish looked at him with those golden eyes. I surrender myself. It is the only way to save your people. No, Marcus said immediately. Marcus, no, there has to be another way. There is not. I knew this risk when I stayed here. I should have left days ago. Zatesh put her hand on his shoulder. It was the first time she had voluntarily touched him. You saved my life. You showed me kindness I did not deserve. I will not repay that by letting innocents die. Marcus looked at her. This legendary warrior, this killer, this woman he had spent 2 weeks caring for, talking with, learning to know. She was his friend. Somehow in these strange weeks, she had become his friend. If you surrender, they'll kill you, Marcus said. Yes, but your people will live. That's not good enough. It is all I can offer. Marcus stood up. His jaw was set. Then we find a better option. You said there are dragon clans, your people? My fleet is weeks away. By then, this colony will be a graveyard. Then we buy time. We make them think you're not here. A loud bang on the door interrupted him. Marcus opened it. It was Thomas and several other colonists. They looked scared but determined. Doc, Thomas said, we know you're hiding her. The dragon warrior. We figured it out. Marcus's heart sank. Thomas, We're not going to turn her in, Thomas said quickly. We wanted you to know that. You saved my hand. You've helped everyone in this colony. If you're protecting her, you must have a good reason. We won't talk, another colonist added, even if they torture us. Marcus felt tears sting his eyes. You don't understand what you're risking. These soldiers will kill you. Then they kill us, Thomas said. We don't abandon our own, and you're one of us, Doc. So if you say she stays hidden, she stays hidden. Zatesh appeared in the doorway. The colonists stepped back, frightened by her appearance. But they didn't run. You would die for a stranger? Zatesh asked. For me. You're not a stranger, Thomas said. Anyone Marcus helps is a friend of ours. Zatesh looked at Marcus. For the first time since he met her, she looked lost, confused, as if something in her understanding of the universe had shifted. I will not let you die for me, she said finally. At sunrise, I will surrender. The colonists left. Marcus and Zatesh sat in the dark clinic. Why? Zatesh asked quietly. Why are they willing to die for me? Because that's what humans do, Marcus said. When it matters, we stand together, even when it's stupid, even when it's hopeless. Zatesh looked at him, and for the first time in 3 centuries, she felt something she thought she had lost forever. Hope. Marcus didn't sleep that night. He sat at his desk, thinking, planning. There had to be a way to save everyone. There had to be. At dawn, Zatesh prepared to leave. She had cleaned her armor as best she could. Her weapons were gone, lost in the crash, but she still looked like a warrior. Thank you, Marcus, she said, for everything. I will not forget you. Marcus stood up. Wait. There is no more time. I'm not letting you go out there alone. Zatesh stared at him. What can you possibly do? You are a doctor, not a soldier. I'm a human, Marcus said. And humans don't give up, ever, even when we should. He went to his computer and pulled up schematics, the Karvax flagship. He had downloaded them from the colony's database. What are you doing? Zatesh asked. Planning a rescue. A rescue? Marcus, I am surrendering. You cannot rescue me from their flagship. Watch me. Zatesh looked at the schematics, at Marcus's determined face. She wanted to laugh. It was insane, impossible. A human doctor against an entire Carvax fleet. But she didn't laugh. Because she saw something in Marcus's eyes. The same stubborn determination she had seen when he worked for hours to save dying patients, when he treated colonists for free, when he refused to give up, even when the situation was hopeless. Humans, she was learning, were very bad at accepting defeat. "This is suicide," Zatesh said. "Probably, but I'm doing it anyway." "Why?" Marcus looked at her. "Because you're my patient, and I don't abandon my patients." Something broke inside Zatesh, something hard and cold that had been there for centuries. She had been alone for so long, fighting alone, carrying everything alone, and now this human, this fragile, mortal human, was offering to fight beside her. "You are insane," she said softly. "Yeah, I get that a lot." Marcus called Thomas and the other colonists. Within an hour, 20 people had gathered at the clinic. Miners, farmers, engineers, regular people who had never fought a battle in their lives. "This is the plan," Marcus said, spreading out the schematics. "Zatesh surrenders herself. Vex will take her to the flagship for interrogation. That's when we strike." "With what?" Thomas asked. "We don't have weapons. We don't have ships. We have mining equipment, plasma cutters, excavators, and we have the colony supply shuttle. It's small, but it's fast." Marcus pointed to the flagship schematics. "The flagship has maintenance tunnels here. They're too small for soldiers in full armor, but perfect for someone my size. While Vex is focused on Zatesh, I go in through the tunnels, find her, and get her out." "That's not a plan," someone said. "That's suicide with extra steps." "You're right," Marcus said. "That's why I'm going alone. The rest of you create a distraction. Use the mining equipment to damage the other ships. Make them think you're trying to destroy their fleet. All attention on you, none on me." "Doc, this is crazy," Thomas said. But he was smiling. "When do we start?" 2 hours later, Zatesh walked out of the clinic. The colonists watched from their homes. Marcus watched from the window. Zatesh walked slowly toward the Carvax ships. Every step was proud, defiant. Even wounded and weaponless, she looked like a queen. Vex met her at the base of the flagship. His soldiers surrounded her immediately. "So," Vex said, "the mighty Imperatrix finally shows herself. Tell me, how does it feel to be defeated?" "You have not defeated me yet," Zatesh said. "No, you are alone, weaponless, injured. We have won." "Have you?" Zatesh looked at the colony, at the humans watching. "I was wounded and dying. A human found me. He could have left me to die, could have sold me, could have done many things. Instead, he saved my life, asked nothing in return. The humans here offered to die rather than betray me. You have ships and weapons, Vex, but you have already lost." "Lost?" Vex laughed. "Foolish words from a dead warrior. Take her to the interrogation chamber. Make sure she lives long enough to tell us everything about the dragon clans." The soldiers dragged Zatesh onto the flagship. The hatch closed behind them. Marcus waited exactly 10 minutes. Then he moved. The supply shuttle was kept at the colony's landing pad. Marcus ran to it, carrying his medical bag and a plasma cutter from the mining depot. Thomas and the others were already there, loading equipment onto mining vehicles. "Ready?" Marcus asked. "As we'll ever be," Thomas said. "You sure about this, Doc?" "No, but I'm doing it anyway." They launched their distraction first. The mining vehicles roared toward the Carvax ships, plasma cutters firing. It wasn't much damage, but it was loud and attention-grabbing. Alarms blared. Carvax soldiers poured out of their ships to deal with the threat. Marcus launched the shuttle and flew low, using the colony buildings for cover. The shuttle was designed for cargo runs, not combat, but it was small and maneuverable. He circled around the flagship from behind. The maintenance tunnel entrance was exactly where the schematics showed it. Marcus docked the shuttle, grabbed his equipment, and climbed into the tunnel. The tunnel was cramped and dark. Marcus crawled through on his hands and knees, following the blueprint he had memorized. Air ducts branched off in every direction. It was like a maze. After 20 minutes of crawling, Marcus found a vent that overlooked the interrogation chamber. Zatesh was chained to a wall. Her armor had been removed. Blood dripped from new wounds. Vex stood before her, holding a weapon that crackled with energy. "Where is your fleet?" Vex demanded. "Everywhere," Zatesh said. Her voice was weak but defiant. "Nowhere. You will never find them all." Vex struck her with the weapon. Zatesh screamed. Marcus gripped the plasma cutter. He had to time this perfectly. Vex turned away to consult with another officer. This was Marcus's chance. He cut through the vent grating and dropped into the room. The fall was 10 feet. Marcus landed badly, pain shooting through his ankle. He ignored it. "Hey!" he shouted. Vex spun around. For a moment, everyone in the room just stared. A human. In the flagship. How was this possible? Marcus ran to Zatesh and started cutting her chains with the plasma cutter. The metal glowed and melted. "Marcus, you fool!" Zatesh gasped. "What are you doing?" "Saving you." "What does it look like?" "You will die." "Yeah, probably. Still worth it." The chains broke. Zatesh collapsed forward. Marcus caught her, struggling under her weight. Vex recovered from his shock. "Kill them both!" Soldiers raised their weapons. Marcus pulled Zatesh behind a console just as plasma fire erupted. The console exploded in sparks. "Can you fight?" Marcus asked. "Barely," Zatesh said, but fire was returning to her golden eyes. "But I can try." Marcus threw her the plasma cutter. "Make it count." Zatesh caught the tool and smiled. It was a warrior's smile, a dragon's smile. She leapt over the console, moving faster than Marcus thought possible. The plasma cutter became a weapon in her hands. She struck with precision and fury. Soldiers fell. Marcus wasn't useless either. He had spent years on the frontier. He knew how to fight dirty. He threw his medical bag at one soldier, the heavy contents knocking the warrior off balance. He tackled another from behind. He grabbed fallen weapons and fired wildly. It was chaos. It was desperate. But it was working. Vex roared in fury and joined the fight himself. He was fast and strong. He grabbed Zatesh and threw her across the room. She hit the wall hard. Marcus jumped on Vex's back, trying to help. Vex threw him off like he weighed nothing. Marcus hit the floor, dazed. Vex advanced on him, weapon raised. "Stupid human. You should have stayed in your clinic." "Yeah," Marcus gasped. "Probably." Then Zatesh was there. She had found a fallen soldier's blade. She drove it through Vex's shoulder. He screamed and fell. Zatesh pulled Marcus to his feet. "Run! Now!" They ran through the flagship corridors. Alarms blared everywhere. More soldiers were coming. Marcus led them toward the maintenance tunnels, following the mental map in his head. They almost made it. A squad of soldiers blocked their path. Too many to fight. Zatesh pushed Marcus behind her protectively. "I will buy you time," she said. "Run to your shuttle." "Escape!" "I'm not leaving you." "Marcus, I said I'm not leaving you." The soldiers raised their weapons. Then the entire flagship shook. An explosion rocked the corridor. Everyone fell. Through the smoke, Marcus saw something impossible. Dragon warriors. Dozens of them, in full combat armor, pouring through a hole they had blasted in the hull. And leading them was a massive dragon warrior, even bigger than Zatesh, wearing armor that gleamed like starlight. "Imperatrix!" the dragon bellowed. "We received your distress beacon." Zatesh's eyes widened. "General Kor, but how?" "Your beacon activated when you were captured. We came as fast as we could." Kor saw Marcus and paused, confused. "Who is the human?" "Someone important," Zatesh said. "Protect him with your life." The dragon warriors swept through the flagship like a storm. The Karvax soldiers didn't stand a chance. Within minutes, the battle was over. Marcus stood among the dragon warriors, feeling very small and very confused. Zatesh limped over to him. She was smiling despite her wounds. "You saved me," she said. "We saved each other," Marcus corrected. Zatesh looked at this strange, stubborn, impossible human. This doctor who had fought trained warriors for her, who had risked everything for someone he barely knew. "Yes," she said softly. "We did." The Dragon Clan warriors secured the flagship quickly. The remaining Karvax soldiers surrendered or fled to their other ships. Those ships, damaged by the colonists' mining equipment, limped away into space. General Kor stood in the flagship's command center, towering over everyone. His armor was decorated with battle honors. His eyes were sharp and assessing. "Report," he commanded Zatesh. Zatesh straightened despite her wounds. "I tracked a Karvax weapons facility to this sector. The facility was a trap. I was ambushed by 3 battle groups. My ship was destroyed. I crashed on this world. You should have called for help immediately. My communications were destroyed. I was dying. I would have died except—" Zatesh looked at Marcus. "This human saved my life." Kor turned his massive gaze to Marcus. Marcus felt like he was being examined by a predator. "A human doctor," Kor said slowly, "saved the imperatrix of the dragon clans." "I didn't know who she was," Marcus said. His voice was steady. "I just knew she needed help." "And then he rescued me from the Karvax," Zatesh added. "He infiltrated their flagship alone, fought their soldiers, freed me from their chains." The dragon warriors in the room were staring at Marcus now. All of them. It was extremely uncomfortable. "A human," one warrior said with disbelief, "fought Karvax soldiers? This human," Zatesh said firmly, "has more courage than warriors I have known for 100 years." Kor was silent for a long moment. Then he did something that shocked everyone in the room. He bowed his head to Marcus, a gesture of deep respect. "The dragon clans are in your debt, Marcus of Earth," Kor said. "You have done what we could not. You kept our imperatrix alive. Name your reward: wealth, technology, a place of honor in our fleet. Anything." Marcus thought about it. Then he shook his head. "I don't want a reward. I just want to go back to my clinic. I have patients waiting." Every dragon warrior in the room stared at him like he was insane. "You refuse reward?" Kor asked carefully. "This is not a small thing we offer. Most species would kill for such an opportunity." "I'm not most species," Marcus said. "I'm just a doctor. I did what needed to be done. That's all." Zatesh laughed. It was a genuine, warm sound. "I told you, Kor. Humans are strange." But Kor wasn't laughing. He was looking at Marcus with something like wonder. "Strange indeed," he said. "But perhaps strange is what we need." The Dragon Clan warriors helped repair the colony. They fixed damaged buildings. They brought medical supplies for Marcus's clinic. They shared food and water from their ships. The colonists were terrified at first. Dragon warriors were legendary, fearsome, dangerous, but the warriors were polite and helpful, and they treated Marcus with enormous respect. Soon the colonists relaxed. Children came to stare at the dragons. The warriors showed them their armor and told stories. Unlikely friendships formed. Zatesh spent 3 days recovering in Marcus's clinic. Her own warriors wanted to take her to their medical bay, but she refused. "Marcus will care for me," she said. "I trust him." So Marcus treated her wounds properly this time. He had real supplies now, donated by the dragon clans. The work went faster. Zatesh healed quickly. On the 3rd day, General Kor came to the clinic. He found Marcus changing Zatesh's bandages. "Imperatrix," Kor said formally. "The fleet is ready. We must return. The war continues." Zatesh nodded slowly. "I know." Kor hesitated. "The Council of Clans wishes to reward the human and his colony." We have decided to station a permanent garrison here, to protect them. Is this acceptable? Zatesh looked at Marcus. What do you think? A garrison? Marcus considered. That would definitely keep raiders away, but I don't want my patients to feel intimidated. Our warriors will not interfere with your work, Kor promised. They will only protect, and perhaps learn from you. Learn from me? I'm just a doctor. You are the human who saved the Imperatrix, Kor said, who fought without training or weapons, who showed compassion to a stranger. These are lessons worth learning. Marcus finally nodded. Okay, but they follow my rules when they're in the colony. No fighting. No scaring the children, and they help with the harvest season. Kor actually smiled. Agreed. After Kor left, Zatesh stood up. She was fully healed now. Her armor had been repaired. Her weapons returned. She looked like the warrior from the hologram again. Powerful, legendary, imperatrix of the dragon clans. But when she looked at Marcus, her eyes were soft. I must go, she said. I know. My people need me. The war... I know, Marcus said again. It's okay. You have duties. I understand. Zatesh walked to the window. She looked out at the colony, at the children playing near dragon warriors, at the colonists working alongside alien soldiers, at the peace she had found here. You taught me something, Marcus, she said quietly. I thought strength was only about fighting, about conquest and victory. But you showed me different. You showed me that true strength is protecting the weak, healing the sick, standing firm when it would be easier to run. She turned to face him. I have won 1,000 battles, but I never understood what I was really fighting for. Until I came here. Until I met you. Marcus didn't know what to say, so he just smiled. You'll visit, though, right? He asked. When you can? Yes, Zatesh said immediately. Yes, I will visit. This place... She struggled for words. This place feels like home. More than my fleet ever has. Then it is home. You're always welcome here. Zatesh pulled something from her armor. It was a small medallion, carved with dragon symbols. This is the mark of Ashkara, she said. It marks you as under the protection of the dragon clans. No warrior will harm you. No enemy will touch you. You have my word, my oath. She placed it around Marcus's neck. The medallion felt warm. Thank you, Marcus said, for trusting me, for being my friend. Thank you for saving me, Zatesh said. In more ways than one. She walked to the door, paused, looked back. Marcus, why did you really save me? Even knowing what I am, what I have done. Marcus thought about it. Because everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves kindness. Even dragons. Zatesh smiled. Then she left. Marcus watched from the doorway as the Dragon Clan fleet prepared to leave. Zatesh stood on the flagship's landing ramp, her wings spread, magnificent against the sky. She looked at the colony one last time. At Marcus. Then she raised her hand in farewell. Marcus waved back. The fleet rose into the sky and vanished among the stars. Life in the colony slowly returned to normal. But it was a different normal now. The Dragon Clan garrison stayed, 20 warriors who lived in a small compound near the colony. They patrolled the area, stopped raiders, helped with heavy work, and yes, they helped with the harvest. The children loved them. The warriors told stories and gave rides on their shoulders and taught them about the stars. Marcus's clinic thrived. With the dragon warriors' protection, more colonists came to Keras 7. The frontier was safer now. People could build without fear. And Zatesh kept her promise. She returned 3 months later. Her fleet appeared in orbit, and she came down alone, landing at Marcus's clinic in the middle of the night. She was wounded again, a plasma burn on her arm. but it was minor. "Thought you might need a doctor," she said, grinning. Marcus laughed and let her in. They sat in the clinic drinking tea while Marcus treated her wound. She told him about her battles, about the victories and losses, about the endless war that seemed to have no end. "Sometimes I wonder if it is worth it," she admitted. "All this fighting, all these years." "Is it protecting people?" Marcus asked. "Yes." "Then it is worth it. But you need to remember to rest too, to heal, to remember what you are fighting for." Zatesh nodded. "That is why I come here, to remember." She visited 3 more times that year, then 5 times the next year. Sometimes she was wounded and needed treatment. Sometimes she just needed to talk, to sit in the quiet clinic and remember what peace felt like. Word spread across the galaxy. The Dragon Imperatrix had found something among the humans, a sanctuary, a friendship, an alliance. Other species took notice. If the feared dragon clans respected humans, perhaps humans were worth knowing. Trade routes opened, diplomatic relations began. Humanity's presence in the galaxy grew stronger, and it all started with a doctor who treated a wounded stranger. 5 years after their first meeting, Zatesh came to visit again. This time, she brought the entire Dragon Clan Council. 12 ancient warriors, each more powerful than battle fleets, landed on Keras 7. The colonists panicked at first. This was unprecedented. But the council came in peace. They gathered in the colony square. Marcus stood before them, feeling very small. The council leader, an ancient dragon named Vorash, spoke. "Marcus of Earth, you saved our Imperatrix. You showed her compassion when she expected death. You taught her that strength can also be gentle. For this, we honor you." Vorash presented Marcus with a crystal blade, a weapon of legend, carried only by the greatest dragon warriors. "You are named Dragon Friend," Vorash said. "First among humans to receive this honor. Your name will be remembered in our songs. Your deeds will be taught to our young, and your people will always have the protection of the dragon clans." Marcus accepted the blade with shaking hands. He looked at Zatesh, who was smiling proudly. "I just did what anyone should do," Marcus said. "No," Vorash replied. "You did what few would. That is the difference." The council left, but Zatesh stayed for a week. She helped in the clinic. She played with the children. She sat with Marcus in the evenings and watched the sunset. On her last night there, they sat on the clinic roof looking at the stars. "Do you ever regret it?" Zatesh asked. "Saving me? Your life would have been simpler if you had not." Marcus thought about it, about the battles, the fear, the danger, but also about the friendship, the alliance, the difference one choice had made. "No," he said finally. "I don't regret it. Not even a little." Zatesh nodded. "Neither do I." They sat in comfortable silence. A dragon warrior and a human doctor. 2 souls who had found understanding across the vast distance between their species. Above them, the stars shone bright. And somewhere out there, the war continued. But here, on this small colony world, there was peace. And sometimes, that was enough. The end.